Artificial intelligence is deeply embedded in our critical infrastructure. It processes financial decisions, medical records, and legal compliance at speeds no human can match. But these models are inherently opaque. We rely on their outputs, yet we cannot look inside the system to confirm it is operating safely. Relying on blind faith in corporate press releases is a mathematical liability. To bridge that gap between trust and proof, organizations use the ISO 42001 audit. It is a systematic, independent mechanism designed to pierce that opacity and verify that a management system is safe, compliant, and operating exactly as claimed. When you hear the word audit, you might picture accountants scrutinizing financial ledgers. This is a very different process. An internal audit is conducted by an organization's own staff to drive continuous improvement and test their readiness. An external audit, specifically a third-party audit, is performed by a specialized certification body to officially verify compliance. The field also demands specialized scopes for specific threats. A compliance audit ensures strict adherence to laws like the EU AI Act. Operational audits assess the efficiency of model retraining processes. Information systems audits test the security of access controls on training data, and environmental audits calculate the raw energy consumption of an AI data center. By applying these focused investigations, theoretical claims about a system's safety are tested, verified, and translated into structural, documented accountability. Before a single line of code is reviewed or a single developer is interviewed, an auditor has to establish the rules of engagement. They need a defined North Star for the investigation. These are the audit objectives. These objectives dictate the exact purpose of the review. An objective might be to verify overall conformity with the ISO 42001 standard. It could test the raw effectiveness of the system to see if it achieves its intended outcomes, or it could be designed to investigate the root cause of a highly specific non-conformity or incident. To prevent the investigation from expanding indefinitely, these goals must be SMART. They must be specific to particular processes, measurable with actual evidence, achievable within the allotted resources, relevant to the organization, and completely time-bound. If objectives define what the auditor is looking for, the audit criteria define the unyielding benchmark the system will be judged against. This diagram illustrates multiple criteria sources converging on a single AI system. An auditor assesses the system against specific ISO 42001 clauses, internal policies, like a 90% accuracy mandate, and external legal requirements, such as the EU AI Act's strict rules. Without these clearly defined criteria, an auditor is only offering a subjective opinion. With them, the audit applies an objective standard of truth. To see how this works in reality, look at this 2-day timeline for a Stage 2 certification audit. The target is a massive e-commerce company's AI recommendation engine. Day 1 moves aggressively. The audit team holds an opening meeting, immediately transitions into an intense document review of internal policies, and then conducts complete process walkthroughs mapping out the entire AI lifecycle. Day 2 escalates the pressure. Auditors pull 50 random execution logs to test model drift. They interview frontline customer service agents to check their awareness of escalation protocols, and they scrutinize management review minutes to confirm executive oversight. None of this is improvised. The audit plan strictly dictates the timeline. It guarantees competent technical specialists and lead auditors are in the right room, at the right time, targeting specific ISO standard clauses with exact precision. A live corporate environment is inherently chaotic. The audit plan operates as a tactical roadmap, keeping the investigation focused entirely on gathering proof. That proof is formally known as audit evidence. This is the actual, verifiable information collected during the planned activities to determine whether the criteria are being met. A single piece of evidence is rarely enough. The proof must pass 2 distinct tests: sufficiency, meaning the auditor has collected a high enough quantity of data, and appropriateness, meaning the evidence is actually relevant and reliable. This 5-tier pyramid represents the hierarchy of reliability. When human safety and official certifications are on the line, not all evidence carries the same weight. At the base, we have testimonial evidence, consisting of staff interview responses. It provides context, but human memory is easily biased. One step up is documentary evidence, written policies, logs, and signed forms. It is significantly more reliable, but documents can still contain errors. We reach highly reliable proof in the upper tiers. Physical evidence involves directly inspecting tangible objects, like data center equipment. Analytical evidence uses hard mathematical calculations, comparing financial ratios and historical trend analyses to spot irregularities. The absolute peak of the hierarchy is reperformance. This occurs when an auditor takes the organization's data, physically runs the exact same test on the AI model themselves, and independently verifies the output. In the world of artificial intelligence risk management, the highest stakes require evidence from the highest possible tier of reliability. You simply have to eliminate the doubt. The critical intersection happens right here. All the hard evidence collected from interviews, logs, and reperformance is slammed against the unyielding audit criteria. The outcome of that collision produces an audit finding. Some findings are positive. A conformity means the criteria were fully met. An observation highlights a low-risk opportunity for improvement, like a note to automate AI model drift monitoring to save time. But the collision also exposes failures. The first level is a minor non-conformity. This is an isolated lapse that does not break the entire system. In our e-commerce example, auditors found 2 customer service agents who were unaware of the AI complaint escalation process. When a minor nonconformity is issued, the organization can still be certified. However, the certification comes with strict conditions requiring them to completely fix the isolated lapse within 90 days. An isolated flaw is survivable, but it serves as an early warning indicator for potential systemic rot. The ultimate failure condition is the major nonconformity. This represents a complete breakdown of a core ISO 42001 requirement. In the e-commerce scenario, the auditors requested the AI risk register to review threat mitigations. They discovered it was entirely empty. The organization was relying on generic IT hazard lists rather than identifying AI-specific risks. The consequence is immediate and severe. Certification cannot be granted. The process halts until the catastrophic failure is investigated, mitigated, and completely resolved. This is the verification protocol at work. The objectives set the target, the criteria provide the benchmark, the evidence proves the reality, and findings determine the final verdict. The audit framework provides the exact mechanism we rely on to test complex code, mandate structural accountability, and ensure that artificial intelligence remains firmly under human control.